Don't blink, it's your boy Ink. Welcome to the show. I'm doing well because I'm having a wonderful day on this 17th June 2025. Today we're having a wonderful day. There's great weather outside. Uh, and we are finally finishing Kenny versus Penny. It's been a while. I took a break from it. Now we're gonna do something special. I was gonna do a video in itself. However, I only have two episodes. Well, technically three, but technically two. It's two different competition, but it's three episodes. So we only have those three to do. So I'm possibly gonna do the pandemic special and the Christmas special. Let's shake things up a little bit. Let's go with the pandemic special. Let's go with the Christmas special. I'm gonna go with, you know what? I could do that. Let's open up with pandemic special. And dude, I'm on the balcony and I'm getting destroyed by mosquito. It is bad. It is bad up there. I'm gonna do one of the special episodes, the episode of season 6, and then Christmas special. I would like to keep it for last. So pandemic special is a very very cool thing, because it's a special that CBC did during the pandemic. CBC is kind of a super important television channel. It it is very very important because it's governmental, but it's also like if you cannot afford cable, it's one of the channel that you get. It is the base TV, but it's still TV, you know. So pandemic special feels very cool because you're seeing how the pandemic hits. You get people kind of like a vox pop, if you will, which is cool. But you really get a idea of the pandemic. Now the pandemic was years ago. Let's move on. Let's not talk about it. However, it was a reality. It was part of our reality as something we went through, you know. So it is cool that we have historical footage of it. Pandemic special is actually really cool. You're seeing the boys, how they are. You're seeing the boys how they evolved. Kenny now has been more calm. He's now a father. He now has a wife, couple businesses, couple of houses. Spenny is in a bad position. Made some bad financial choice. Fell for a Ponzi scheme. Now, if you would ask me what's a Ponzi scheme, I don't know if I could answer it. Yo no soy un scammer. But you know what? Chat GPT will tell us the way. The tower. Okay, so what is a Ponzi scheme? Ponzi scheme is a fraudulent investment operation where the operator pays return to the investor for their own money or money from new investor rather than from profits earned through limited activity. These schemes rely on a constant influx of new investor to sustain the illusion of profitability and to pay off early investor. When a scheme can no longer attract enough new investors and a large number of existing investors try to withdraw their money, the scheme collapses. How it works: a Ponzi scheme operator typically promises a return when little or no risk an investor. Then they use the money from the investor to pay return to earlier investor, creating the appearance of a successful investment. Wow, this is nuts. This is nuts. So basically, a bank. Banks are large scale Ponzi scheme. See, if you go, and what am I saying that? Because if you go to your bank establishment and you ask for a large amount of money, they don't have it. Guys, I'm getting destroyed. You see me itching myself? This is bad, guys. This is mosquito bite. So it's really bad, but at the same time, who cares? So he fell for a Ponzi scheme. He lost all of it. His wife took a large portion of it. It's really bad for him. So we're seeing how this guy evolved, and the whole show is about Benny wanting to make another season. And Kenny's like, no, not really. I don't want to make another season. So the whole time, Kenny's like, okay, well, convince me that we can make a new season. So the whole time it's about humiliating Spenny. So he makes him eat a roll of paper toilet. There's a bunch of things that happens. And the pandemic, I did like the pandemic special. The pandemic special is a great episode of Kenny vs. Penny. It would be, if you put this in season 6, I would have loved it. But it's just weird because those guys really got older. So there's a large difference in the amount of time passed between. So this is not good. Not good in the sense of you can see, you can tell there's a lot. For example, Trailer Park Boys, there was 15 years between season 7 and season 8, so you can tell. So you have that. It's cool because it's new material, but it's not cool because it is single episode. The episode feels like the beginning of a new season, but there's no season, so you're left very hungry. And in this one, it sucks because you see a very desperate Spenny, so you feel bad for Spenny. But it's also like there's something I saw ultimately a lot. See, this Kenny vs. Spenny in this one was season 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, making fun of Spenny, making fun of Spenny, making fun of Spenny, and then stop making fun of Spenny just to make fun of Spenny 10 years ago, 10 years later. So I'm seeing a physical evolution of the characters, but I'm not seeing an emotional maturity response to their age. So that kind of sucked. Now, for season 6, we got Who Does Black Guy Likes Better? And again, I told about this, I started this video, couldn't finish it because no batteries. It feels very weird because of how it's brought up. It's really awkward. So, 3 guys are gonna come and they're gonna spend time with Kenny versus Spenny and say, hey, who was cooler? You know. And they're loud, this is loud, this is not ideal. Not ideal. So, they started, the first day is actually Spenny. And the funny thing is, you see Kenny disguised as a maid. So they said that Spenny had a maid when he was younger, and she kind of raised him, and she was black. So Kenny does a blackface, which is super cancelable. But then again, we're in 2008, so you could get away with more on TV. I'm gonna be eating because I didn't finish eating, and this is my only like free time of the day, dealing with storage, and a solely neighbor. So, oops, Spenny, Kenny disguised himself and this blackface, but he's trying to reproduce the maid that he had, and Spenny wonders what he's doing, and he thinks that Kenny is trying to make him feel bad about having a black maid. But now, here's again where I have to side with Spenny. He didn't have a black maid. His family did. I believe there was some sort of love between the two of them, where she was almost an aunt, you know. The kid doesn't care about color. A kid cares about, hey, where this person loves me. Drinking quench lemonade. So he does this, and then so Spenny goes in. He's talking to the she guys. Yeah, that's just the prologue of the show. Kenny fucks up, so Spenny insults him. Spenny like it because he can humiliate Kenny, but Kenny plans everything. So we have the retreat. So I think that's a retreat. And there's actually some good questions being asked in the retreat. It's actually some good questions like, why not I have black friends? And one of the guy, and it's kind of crazy because so they bring the three dudes, which was really cool because usually, well, no, that's not true. Usually there's 3 people, disabled, old people, there's 3 people. And you do 3 people because you say, okay, well, if one votes for Spenny, if one votes for Kenny, 3 is the least we can do without having draws. But sadly, one of them doesn't talk a lot. I think he says 1 or 2 things. So I'm like, okay, well, you know. So Spenny goes in the retreat and it's like, why don't I have black friends? And the youngest of the black guys, he says, maybe you find that you have more in common with your Jewish friend, you know? And there's some good question, and It kind of goes too far because Kenny dresses up as a KK. Spenny dresses up as a KKK. Spenny does, and he's like, I want to do like shock value, shock culture. How do you feel about that? Can we break down the walls? Can someone who's wearing like that? Can we be friends with each other if I wear that? And it's just weird. It's just really, really weird. And that is Kenny things. No, this is Penny's thing. Sorry. While Penny is out, Kenny goes to have a black maid to clean the house because he feels bad. There's more to that, but we'll leave it at for that. We'll leave it there for now. Kenny goes in and he just chill with the guys. They have meals, and Kenny's like, it's awkward, and that's self-awareness. When it's awkward is because not because they don't talk with each other, but because the whole competition is awkward. It's like on paper this look good, but in reality this is a bit weird. So then they have a comedy show. They make fun of each other. So Kenny makes some jokes about black people, but then he makes some joke about some joke about Jewish people, and then it's so funny because the three guys goes on scene, and they make jokes. You know, it's like a comedy skit, and it's just great because this is this whole episode is about racism. Let's me be misogynistic. It's a really a dude's thing to tease each other, you know. So at the end of the show, it's like I have to show you this. So Kenny, he did a montage where he takes the reaction of Spenny when he was a black maid or blackface maid, and just Spenny screaming at him and insulting him because he's breaking. So what he does is he cleans. He'll take like a plate, like a portion plate, and he'll throw it on the ground, and it'll break. And I'll be like, "Oh, dude, you know." And then Spenny's like, "You fucking idiot!" So then he made a montage, and he actually films the maid and how she works, and it makes it seem like Spenny is talking shit to the girl. So at the end, Spenny seemed super racist. And that's pretty much it. That's the episode. Now we're gonna move on to. We can stay on the line in the longest. We can say that on the line in the longest is a episode that is kind of special because it is the last episode ever of Kenny vs. Penny, and the canonical order of things and the chronological order of things, and it's just like a big goodbye party. The crew goes to a place, and they're supposed to do island and be in that survival, right? And they're surviving on an island, and they don't have. When you look at it, I got my friend Janice, who was a huge fan of Survivor, and they're doing the same thing that Survivor, without the totem of what we call it, indemnity. I don't know how to say it. I don't understand English. What you call it? Safety idol? I don't know. I don't know what you call it. But yeah, so they play that. So they go to the island, and Kenny's like, "Yo, let's just have fun," and the whole show feels like a party. And then Kenny doesn't want to leave because he said, "Guess where we at? We're on the line already. So the competition is when we leave this island, and there's resorts here. We can just party." So Spenny's like, "No, this is not the spirit of the competition. I want to survive." So he goes in. He refuses to go to the resort. Just Kenny having parties. Spenny being stubborn, right? And how can I say that? Yeah, that's pretty much it. It's just it's kind of like a boring competition because you just see the guys working, and Spenny, you feel bad because Spenny feels like he needs to make the competition because he feels the need to have a show. He feels the need to. I don't know. This is his purpose. The competition is to see. Spenny would be the guy at work who cannot enjoy a party, a work party. Yeah. At the end, what they do is, Spenny's like, "Oh fuck it, let's celebrate. Who cares? What is the meaning of this in 10 years? Who's gonna remember this in 10 years?" So they go to swim, and Spenny, what he does is Spenny swims very, very far, and because he swims very, very far, he technically leaves the island. Compared to Spenny, who didn't leave. Compared to Kenny, who didn't leave the island. That's pretty much it. Humiliation is he gets sprayed. Yeah. Now for the Christmas special, which is the ending. It is a very weird episode. The Christmas special, I don't like it, but I love it. I don't like the feeling of it. So it's two dudes that have to stay in a Christmas tree the longest. It's a lot of like animosity. It's a lot of held up feeling, pent up feelings. It's a lot of I'm mad at you and you never did this. One of the competitions, for example, you got classical Kenny who's trying to fuck with Spenny by sending in little people, by sending in camel. It's just hilarious. And it's just a weird competition, but there's a lot of fighting. The crew gets super involved. Where like Spenny was another good boss. It was a good boss. They showed a trailer. It really feels like this is them saying, "Let's do whatever the fuck we want." So we get a trailer and we get to see Kenny trailer, we get to see Spanish trailer and how it is. You get the crew what they are. You get cameos from other people that were in the shows. It was really cool. What I like about the Christmas show is these two Jewish guys that are supposed to they're supposed to celebrate Hanukkah, but they're celebrating Christmas. So I thought it was really cool because it's kind of, I don't know, comedic, I guess. But there's so much kids. For example, there's the Zodiac killer who kills Santa Claus. There is what's we call it? The Yarp Yarp who eats Santa Claus. What else? Yeah, there was a couple of clips. There was a couple of skits that were really cool. The Christmas special just feels like it's a ending. Oh yeah, there's this. I don't remember the name of the writer, but the Christmas Carol. Yeah. So the Christmas past, Christmas present, Christmas future, which is super popular. That's pretty much it, to be honest. It's not my favorite episode because of the emotion that are portrayed in the show. I think it just feels sour. It feels sour, just like the pandemic did also. The pandemic also felt sour, so the two of them felt sour. And technically speaking, the Christmas special isn't canon. Well, it is canon, but it's not in this season. So I would have preferred a better ending, a kind of like a more positive ending, a more wholesome ending. I don't know. It's like other shows that are having a finale, and like, oh, this is the show ends. Then the two finale they have, it just felt bitter, you know. It just felt like, okay, well, but then again, when you look at the spirit of Kenny versus Penny, the spirit is that. The spirit is two guys humiliating each other and competing against each other, right? And it cannot be finishing in a positive manner. It cannot be finishing on a good note. So that's pretty much it. And there you go with our Kenny versus Penny ending. It was good. It was a good sixth season. Again, there's some show that I loved, some show that I didn't like. Do I think that there's possible that I have 6 seasons of, let's say, 12 episodes in general? Do I think that I'm able to have 6 seasons times 12? It's 72 episodes that I love? No. But I think the show is well balanced. There's a lot of show that I like, there's a lot of show that I didn't like. And it is very pleasant. But it's not very pleasant because we did a show that we like. Very pleasant because this is my second recap or review, and it's a very different from the first one. And I think this is worth it. I think this is special. I think this is cool. So this is it. Anyway, I'm annoying them so before they came to the apartment today to knock at the door and say, "Hey, you talk too much, dude. I'm outside. I'm gonna do what I want." Okay? So that's pretty much it. Thank you for watching the whole thing, hopefully. It's crazy to think that the entire thing of my recaps of Kenny vs. Penny is I think, kind of 10 hours. At the very least 10 hours. Which is unbelievable. And that's pretty much it. Anyway, love you guys. Take it easy. Peace.